Welcome back to the OHSU Effect. I'm Lacey Evans. Thanks for spending your morning with us. And lately, we've been hearing this buzzword a lot, mindfulness. We often hear it in conjunction with integrative medicine or meditation or yoga. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. With me now is Kimberly Carson, a health educator at OHSU. Good morning.
Hi, Lacey.
So you've done multiple studies on different health benefits of yoga. So tell us a bit about those studies and what the research says about yoga.
Oh, I'd be happy to. So when we were at Duke Medical Center, we did several studies looking at a yoga and meditation-based intervention for both women that had metastatic breast cancer as well as survivors of breast cancer who were really dealing with the menopausal symptoms that can come post-treatment. And what we found in both of those trials was that the yoga and meditation-based programs helped women both reduce their pain levels, their fatigue levels. It improved their mood. Depression and anxiety were improved. And we also saw changes in hot flashes, intensity as well as severity.
Why do you think yoga gives those benefits?
Well, yoga is a really interesting practice because it's so diverse. What's really helpful about the yoga practice is that it has a comprehensive toolkit so that you have not only the movements that help the body release bound up tension, but you also have breath practices which help to stabilize the central nervous system, and you have the meditation practices which help work with different patterns of mind, of thinking that can sometimes be at the root of our stress reactions.
So a lot of us think yoga is very simple, just a lot of stretching, but it can be demanding. So what kind of questions should a person ask to make sure they're ready for yoga?
Oh, that's a great question. It's really important that people find a teacher that can take a gentle approach, especially if they're new to the practice. And in particular, I would suggest that they find a teacher who has had experience working with their particular issues. So if they are living with a medical condition or being treated for a medical condition, that teacher has had some experience working with those types of patients.
And that's kind of your expertise, is you offer classes at the OHSU Night Cancer Institute. So you teach yoga to cancer patients. What have you seen in your experience? How does it help them?
Oh, it's really amazing to watch what happens. In a lot of ways, depending on where people are in their cancer treatment experience, the practices can help in a lot of different ways. So I've seen people who have been able to take the benefits both in a physical level so that their bodies are working better. They're able to work through scar tissue that may have been set in place because of surgeries. They see reductions in lymphedema. They see improvements in their fatigue levels. And again, their mood starts to lift. People have felt that their pain levels, their arthralgia that comes from some of the treatments also is reduced.
There are many different types of yoga. There's like that hot yoga, stuff like that. So how can we find the right type of yoga? And are all types of yoga good?
That's a really good question, and it's an empirical question that we don't have the answer to yet. I would say that probably all of the different styles of yoga do have benefits, but I would say not all of the styles of yoga are appropriate for all people. So depending on what kinds of limitations or challenges your body has, a hot yoga practice may not be the best choice because it may be challenging the body in a way that at this point it's really not ready to be challenged.
So what if I am a relatively healthy person and I'm not necessarily doing yoga to treat an illness, but maybe just want to try something new, a new exercise? Do you recommend doing it at home, like through a video or something?
If that's the only choice that you have, I would say absolutely. There are a lot of videos on the market by some very skilled teachers that could help you kind of get started.
Now, you also offer mindfulness training for stress reduction. We mentioned that at the beginning. What is mindfulness? Is that another form of yoga, or is it considered meditation?
Yeah, so mindfulness is part of the yoga practice, and mindfulness is kind of simply defined as a moment-to-moment awareness of what's present in an open and non-judgmental way. And so it may be that you practice your yoga postures with a mindful attitude, but you could also practice them in a very distracted way. So not necessarily are they the same practice, but mindfulness really, for many people, is best developed through meditation practice.
Are there any other forms of exercise that you think rival yoga in terms of health benefits?
It's interesting. I don't know that I would put it in competition with other forms of exercise because I think people can be met differently depending on where they are. But I do think that yoga has such a nice and, as I said earlier, comprehensive toolkit that it gives so many different avenues for the cultivation of wellness.
And I want to talk about your classes coming up because your next 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction course starts in April. And that is really it helps people with cancer and their caregivers, right?
That's right. Yeah. And so that's an 8-week program. And in that program, we help patients as well as their caregivers really develop the practice of mindfulness through formal meditation practices as well as through disease-appropriate yoga practices.
And again, it starts Monday, April 23rd, runs through June 11th. How can they sign up?
The best thing to do would be to contact me. My email address is Kimberly, Kimberly, at yogaofawareness.org. And then we can set the registration process in motion.
Kimberly Carson, a health educator at OHSU. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Lacey. It was fun.